All right, good morning. So set my alarm, got up on time. Oh, a little tired though. So today we're going to continue our lesson with a few chords. So our first few chords using our left hand, and let's just get started. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so up here I have 4 chords, okay, and this is what we call a chord chart, and this basically shows you how to hold a chord. So it's just like picking. The lines going up and down are the strings, and the lines going across are the frets. So I want you to put your finger right here and use finger number 3. You guys remember? Finger number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Okay, so if you put your finger number 3 here on the A string, space number 3, this is the C chord, and you can strum. Oh, let me plug in. Here's C chord. So you can try the strum pattern. Remember this one? Down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up. Okay, so let's try it. 1, 2, ready, C, down, down. You guys can go ahead and try the A minor chord, which looks like this. F chord. And notice how the F chord you have to use 2 fingers, okay? That's kind of the tricky thing about chords. A lot of times when we talk about strumming and picking, what's easier? With picking, you usually have to move your fingers a little quicker and more often, but it's always usually 1 string at a time. Okay. With strumming, sometimes you have to use more than 1 finger. Like this is 2 fingers, and G is actually 3 fingers. Okay, and it's a little harder to hold, but normally with chords, you don't have to change as quickly as notes. Okay, so let's try the F chord together. 1, 2, ready, go. And then the G chord, finger number 1 here, finger number 2 here, finger number 3 here. Okay, now the G chord is actually a little tricky, but I'm going to show you something that might make all the difference. Okay, finger number 1 and finger number 2 both have to go on space number 2. Okay, so when you put finger number 1 down first, okay, if you notice how my finger is pointing straight up to the ceiling, what happens is it gets really difficult for me to squeeze finger number 2 in there, okay? So what I'm gonna do is turn my hand, make this part of my hand touch the ukulele here, just a little swivel or pivot, okay? And now I have so much space here for finger number 2, okay? So if it's pointing to the ceiling, the G is gonna be really difficult to hold. But if it's pointing towards you, finger number 2, finger number 3, feels pretty natural. Okay, and this is your G chord. Okay, now I know if you're just beginning, the G chord is going to be very difficult. And it's true, there are some chords that are more difficult than others. And every once in a while when you're learning a song or you want to play a song, you're going to say, oh, this song is the G chord. And when I was younger, I actually used to try to dodge the songs that had the hard chords. So like for me growing up, B flat was a difficult chord where you have to hold 2 strings with your pointer finger. Your middle finger goes here and your ring finger goes there. Okay? So I remember when I was younger and I would often tell my brother Jake, right, hey, what is that song, the one on the radio? I want to learn that song. I really like that song. And he goes, oh, it's easy. F chord. Like, oh, F. C. B flat. B. Actually, I don't really like that song too much. But you gotta learn the chords. Okay, so, but I found a great way to practice chords. Okay, so let's use, for example, C, A minor, F, and G. And let's say we're going to strum each one 4 beats. Okay. I don't know if you remember, but in the previous lesson, I numbered it 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So when you strum down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, that's 4 beats. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay. Now when I take out this up and this down, this strum pattern is still 4 beats. So it would just go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay. So if I say strum the C chord 4 beats, A minor 4 beats, F chord 4 beats, and G chord 4 beats, it would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay. But we won't actually do that yet. I'm showing you this so I can give you an example. Okay, let's pretend that the G chord is really difficult for you and you start to really hate this chord, okay? So the way to practice this is every time you go from F to G, that counts as 1 practice, okay? And you do it again, F to G. Every time you try to make that change from F to G, that counts as 1 practice, okay? So the object, I think, kind of making this up, but I would say about 150 to 200 times. Okay, you practice going from that chord to the G chord, and you should get somewhat pretty comfortable, okay? So let's say I'm trying to learn a song, so I have to practice this, okay? And I go C, A minor, no problem, F, no problem. Now I'm gonna try to go to G. I try to go to G. I hate this chord, but G. Okay, that's 1 practice. Okay, and then I'm going to do it again. C, A minor, F, G again. That's 2. Okay, so instead of doing that, so if you know me, you would know that I'm pretty lazy. So when I practice or when I have to do something, I'm always trying to find the best way or the easiest way or the fastest way, okay? And this is the fastest way to hit 200 and the best way. F, G, 1 time, just F, G. Okay, that's 1 practice, that's 1. F, G, 2, F, G, 3, okay, and you want to try to do that around 150 to 200 times, okay? But here's the thing. You cannot just take your time and go from F to, let's see, finger number 1, finger number 2, finger number 3, okay, G, because you'll never have that much time, so you have to try to hurry. So what I tell a lot of my students is 1 minute, I'm going to time them, and they have to go F, G, F, G, F, G as fast as they can, okay? So even if it takes a while, as long as they're trying to get there as fast as they can, then that's good. And 1 minute, we stop. I don't know, maybe, okay, so this would be good. Wake up in the morning, grab your ukulele, F, G, 1 minute, that's it. Okay, and then whatever you do after that, get ready for work maybe. You go to work, come home, pick up your ukulele, 1 minute, stop, and then I don't know what you do after work, but maybe watch TV, cook dinner, Well, whatever you do, and maybe after dinner, do it again. F G, F G, F G, F G, F G. Take a break before you go to sleep. Try it again. F G, F G, and you're gonna notice that it gets easier and easier and easier. Okay, and this is the best way to practice chords. Okay, because when it comes to strumming, learning strum patterns and things like that, you'll get comfortable with that quickly. But every once in a while, you'll run into that one chord and it's a new chord and you say, oh, I hate this chord, or how do you hold it? But now you know how to practice it. So actually, even though I'm showing you these chords, I would like you to practice it as much as you can and use these exercises. So do you remember the notes per minute tests where, you know, E, G, C, B, A, F, D, C, E, F, G. This is the same thing but with chords. C, G, A minor, F, G, A minor, C, G, F, G. Okay? And you can kind of make your own. If you want, just stick with this. Do it maybe, see how many chords you can strum in 1 minute. So same thing, go. C, G, A, F, G, C, G, F, G, C, then after 1 minute, time, and then count it. Every time you do it once, it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. Your goal would be to try to do, I guess, 1 per second, maybe a little better than 1 per second. So if you're gonna give yourself a minute, maybe 61 chords would be good. If you give yourself 30 seconds, try for 31 or more. Okay? So, anyways, I want you guys to practice this. And even if you have been playing for a while and you know all these chords, I'm sure, you know, there's chords that you don't like, you know, so this is the way to practice it and make the most of your practice sessions, right? Or if you want to just practice for 2 hours because you like to play, then just do whatever you want to do. But just remember, changing from the chord before to the difficult chord, that counts as 1 practice time, okay? And you need about 150 to 200 times to start feeling a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so I will leave you guys with that. And C, A minor, F, and G. Oh, and by the way, the reason why I'm teaching you the G chord, because actually in Hawaii growing up, one of the first 3 chords you learn is C, F, and G7. Which looks like this. Okay? But instead, I'm teaching you guys G, and the reason for that is when you're strumming a song and it says G7, you can always use a G to replace the G7, and it'll be fine. Okay? But if a song calls for G, you cannot always use a G7 over the G. Okay, so that's kind of different. So the G, for now, you can use it whenever you want a G chord or a G7 chord. Okay, for now. And in the future, we'll learn more chords and we'll move on from there. So I hope you guys have a great day. And oh, one more thing I wanted to say too is that for those of you who have been watching all the different episodes, we will start playing a few songs soon. I just want to make sure that the technique is there first. So I know a lot of people want to rush into, I just want to play a song, I just want to learn a song, something, but the technique should come first, I believe. And I think the things you have been practicing so far, I think is good practice for you guys. So keep it up, be patient, we're getting there. Okay, so this will conclude another episode of Every Day is Ukeday. Please have a great day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Yeah.